off my stage.
I am here to prove that my one-year-old son is mine. My ex slept with another man one time in the month that he was conceived.
You took a DNA test before the show?
Yes, I did.
It's a 50-50 chance between me and him.
I don't know which one of them is the father.
Why did you put yourself in this situation anyways, where you're sleeping with him, then you start sleeping with him? You're making bad choices, and you know who pays for the bad choices? Your baby. Do you believe that you're the biological father to this child?
Yes, I do.
I know that's my boy.
Serena, who did you want the father to be?
I want my kid!
Calm down.
It's my son!
You hate your daughter's boyfriend.
Yes. When I met him, he lied about his age to my daughter and to me. I found out he was 27 and she was only 17.
When you met him, how old did he tell you he was?
He told me he was 25.
You were buying my 17-year-old daughter beer so you could molest her!
Marty, you were asked, did you lie to Hannah about your age when you first met her? And the results of his lie detector test is that...
Oh my God!
Welcome to the show. My first guest is Jeffrey. Jeffrey, why are you here?
Steve, I am here to prove that my one-year-old son is mine. My ex slept with another man one time in the month that he was conceived, and then she had the guts to go and put his name on the birth certificate. Now, we were together for a year. Jaron was a planned baby. We were trying to have him for quite a while. She ended up leaving and taking off with another man. This is the guy that got put on the birth certificate. When they got back, you know, Serena, she gave him to me when he was about 6 weeks old. She just gave him to me. And for the next 6 months, Jaron lived with me. She spent maybe, you know, a day, a week, maybe every other week with him. You know, she's a dancer. She works a lot, and she you know, goes to work in the afternoon, wakes up late, so she didn't really
Ballet
show a lot of
dancer
time.
or?
No, stripper.
Stripper.
Yes.
This is your little boy
Yeah,
here.
this is my boy.
Now, how long had you been dating her?
We had been together for a year. We were engaged. We broke up a week before the wedding. We broke up right after she got pregnant. She had decided that she wasn't ready to settle down. You know, she's younger than me. She hadn't had the time to get out and party, you know. So I can understand. I mean, you know.
But you're with her for about a year.
Yeah, just
You guys are in love with each other.
Yeah.
And you say, let's have a baby. And you're trying to have a baby. You believe this is your little boy. You want to find out.
I know that's my boy.
You know
that's
it's your
my
boy. And you took a DNA test before the show?
Yes, I did.
How did you find out that she put another man's name on the birth certificate?
Actually, it was the mutual friend who had told me that he was born, had told me that she went ahead and put his name on the birth certificate.
And when you hear that, how does that feel that there's another man on this birth certificate saying that he's the father?
I don't even know how to describe it. I'm so angry, but you know, I mean, I've gone this long, I haven't done anything. I mean, I gotta think about my kid. I gotta put my feelings aside and think about my kid.
So even though you know that she slept with this guy around the same time, you feel this is your baby?
You know, he's just like me. He's got my arms, my leg, you know, I mean.
And so you've been in the child's life.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I raised him by myself for 6 months. And then after she took him, she gave him to family members and then took off. Doesn't that give you any concern that a mother drops her child off for six months and doesn't have anything to do? Yeah, and that was one of the biggest problems we had, you know. I mean, I love my mom. I have a great relationship with my mom, and I want nothing more than for my son to have the same thing. And that was one of the biggest problems, is that we would fight a lot about how little time she would spend with him. You know, she was supposed to be having him in her days off, and she would blow him off for her boyfriends.
Do you still love Serena?
Oh, of course. She's my son's mom. I mean.
Do you still love her? Would you take her back?
I love her, but I'm not in love with her, and I don't think I could. And we've been together since then, you know. I mean, she's actually cheated on 3 boyfriends with me since then.
It's not really good mother material now, is it?
No, it's really not. You know, and that's my major concern, is the well-being of my child. She leaves him in the care of people that do not take care of him.
So if this test comes back and you're not the father, How are you going to feel?
He's still my boy.
He's still your son, no matter what.
That's my boy.
And the other man that could possibly be the father, his name is Brian?
Yeah.
All right, let's bring Brian out.
Yeah, well, you know
How
what?
dare you put...
He doesn't even look.
Don't touch
Don't even.
Dude, how dare you put your name on my son's... How dare you?
You know what?
You slept
I
with her
was
one
there.
time. What's the chance? What's the chance? Yeah, like I could not be there.
But obviously, you messed up that chance. You did.
No, me and Serena had our own problems. That had nothing to do with me and you. I made a deal with you when you and Serena first got together. I made a deal with you that you would not come between me and my son, and you agreed to that. I have no problem with you and Serena being together as long as you did not come between me and my son. And what did you do?
Then why the threatening?
What did you do, Brian?
Why did you threaten me?
I don't know which one of them is the father.
Do you believe that you're the biological father to this child?
Yes, I do.
I know that's my boy.
Serena, who did you want the father to be?
I want my kid!
Calm down,
It's my son!
Acting this way right now in front of that little boy is not good for your little boy.
When I met him, he lied about his age to my daughter and to me.
He told me he was 25. You were buying my 17-year-old daughter beer so you could molest her!
Do you feel you're the father of this child?
Yes, I feel like I'm the father of this child.
And
of Jared.
And knowing that she had been sleeping with him is a possibility that he is the father?
That's all right with me. I don't care. But you know what?
Do you care about the child?
I was there.
You were there.
I was
Do you
there.
care about the child?
Yes, I do.
Do you feel like you're the father?
Yes, because I was there while she was pregnant. I was there for his birth. I was there to pick the name. I was there.
We already had the name picked out.
Hold on.
Then why was she with me the day that we picked it out? We are online.
Listen, talk to me. This is a serious issue here because he feels he's the father, that he was sleeping with her. This was his girlfriend. She cheated on him with you. He's had the baby for long periods of time. This is a little boy who we're really not sure who's the father. Put yourself in his place for a second. Obviously, do you have any feelings for this woman at all?
Yes, I love her to death.
You love her to death. Are you guys together?
Yes, we are. Well, not technically right now, but we're going to try to making things work.
What's not technically together? Either you're together or you're not together.
No, we're not.
And
Yeah,
why-
but she was sleeping in my lap the whole plane trip here.
She was what?
Sleeping in my lap the whole plane trip here.
Wow, dude. Wow.
She had her head in your lap?
The whole plane ride here. All the way from Oregon.
That's commitment. So, what I've established with him, he's very emotional about this child. He loves Serena. He thought he was in this one-year relationship. He says they're trying to have a baby, that she does get pregnant. The truth is, you did sleep with her. You could be the father. What are your feelings towards this boy?
I love him as much as I love Serena. And I would love to be the father.
You feel like he's your son?
Then why did you guys give him to me as soon as he came back?
Hold on a second. We'll get
Because
to that.
I had my own problems. I had my own life to take care of for a little bit. I asked for a little bit of time.
Well, you know what? When you start bringing children into the world, you don't get to ask for a little bit of time. What's the baby supposed to say? Yeah, go ahead, Dad. I'll come back in a few
I know
months.
he doesn't have much of a choice, but for me to get my life settled.
Well, why not get your
so
life
I
settled
can-
before you start sleeping with strippers and having babies?
Here's Dad. Why is he calling me Dad?
I mean,
He calls
listen,
me Dad too,
listen. Here's what I'm saying, and I'm not saying this in a bad way. You seem like an immature guy. You're a young guy, and we all go through it. I was immature too. And definitely when I was your age, 23 years old, I was not ready to have children. And I made sure I didn't have any. Well, so my thing is, you're just sleeping with people, and maybe she gets pregnant. You were with her how long before she got pregnant? How
Off
many
and on
times?
for about 2 years.
But no serious relationship, right?
Actually, well, when we were in Idaho, we did have a planned relationship.
The point is, you know she was with this guy. You know she was with him.
Yeah, I knew she was with him. And it wasn't until the time that she left him is when we got together.
Can you look at your little boy right there and say, that's my boy, I know he's from me?
He is my son because I've been there. I've known everything about
You
him.
haven't been there the whole time because he raised the child for 6 months at one period.
He's only a year old. I had him for 6 months. Where have you been for the past 5 since then?
I've been
Who
there.
was there on his birthday?
I was there too.
No,
I
you
was
weren't.
there
I was
that
there
Monday.
on his. I was there.
I was there
on
Monday.
his
Do you
birthday.
believe that you're the biological father to this child?
Yes,
You do.
I do.
Do you feel there's any chance that he's the biological father?
Honestly, I can't say anything because it's still 50-50 chance. It's a 50-50 chance between me and him.
All right, I'm going to ask both of you to leave, and I'm going to talk to her. Let's bring out Serena. Hello.
Hi.
So I have these two young men on my stage. One, I mean, they both seem a little hurt, a little confused. Certainly Jeffrey, very emotional about your son. Who do you believe is the father?
I think it's Brian.
And
And
why?
I want it to be Brian.
And why do you think it's Brian?
Because Jeff and I had split up for about maybe a week and a half before I got with Brian. And then I didn't know that I was pregnant until 3 months after I was pregnant. So the closest one to that would be Brian.
Why Brian over Jeffrey?
When Jeff and I were together, Jeff turned into an alcoholic. And then he started hurting me. I went to work one day and then came home. And he was supposed to be at his friend's house. And he actually was there completely plastered. And the house was trashed. And I'm like, what are you doing? You know, and finally, eventually, I said, okay, I can't do this anymore. You're drinking too much. I'm fed up with it. And I went to leave. And then he grabbed a hold of me and literally tossed me across my living room.
Is this why you were pregnant, or?
Yeah, I didn't know I was pregnant, but it happened, you know, in that time frame. I don't know if I was pregnant at that point in time or not.
And how old are you?
I'm 21.
And did you think that, like, getting pregnant by either one of these guys was a good idea?
My pregnancy was an accident. I was on expired birth control. I don't know which one of them is the father, so I give both of them visitation.
Serena, who did you want the father to be?
I want my kid!
Calm down, bud.
My son!
Acting this way right now in front of that little boy is not good for your little boy.
He lied about his age to my daughter and to me.
He told me he was 25. You were buying my 17-year-old daughter beer so you could molest her!
You are the father.
Get off my stage! He seems very emotional. Jeffrey,
He's always been an emotional person. He's a mama's boy.
were you having a good relationship with him? He says
I
you were
do.
together
I
for
do
about a year.
I do now. I mean, we're really good as friends. I do have a good relationship with him now. It wasn't as good as it is now.
Now, he says that you were actually trying to have a child, though.
At one point in time, like 6 months into our relationship, we decided that yes, we would want to have a child. And then, you know, the further down we got in our relationship, the worse he got. He got meaner, he got lazy, he lost his job, didn't try to get another job.
But you were actually trying to have a baby with
At one
Jeffrey.
point in time I was, and then, you know, as he got worse, I decided not to, because that's not the kind of person I want to have in my kid's life, you know? Somebody who doesn't work.
But you were sleeping with both of these guys, and
Not
pretty,
at the same time, I wasn't.
pretty close to each other.
Close to the same time, yes, but not at the exact same time.
Now, is there any possibility another man could be
No,
the
there is
father's
not.
child? Only these two?
Only these two.
If you believe that Brian is the father, why did you give Jeffrey the baby for 6 months?
I didn't give him the baby for 6 months. He had visitation every other weekend with the baby, and then Brian would come out and visit
well,
the baby.
why would...
I don't know why he's saying that he
No, why
had
did he, how
full
did he
custody.
get visitation?
Because I don't know which one of them is the father, so I give both of them visitation at this point in time. They both get to see Jaren.
Okay, if you didn't know who the baby's father is, why did you put his name on the birth certificate?
Neither one of their names are on the birth certificate, actually.
Oh, so nobody's name's on the birth certificate?
No, nobody's name is on the birth certificate. Jaron has Brian's last name, but neither one of the names, their names, are on the birth certificate.
Why are you handing your baby, not even to Jeffrey, why aren't you as a mother there for your child every day? 6 months, you hand the baby over?
Those two had me so stressed out.
What's that?
Those two had me so stressed out between their bickering and fighting this whole entire time. They had me so stressed out, I was over my limit. And what I was going to do is I was going to get help from a counselor out of state where I didn't have to be near either one of them.
You had a baby and the two goofballs that you're dating, it was your decision.
Yeah, I know, and I left my son with my mom.
And you just, 6 months, I need a break, here's my baby, take care of it for 6 months?
I was so stressed out, though, that I couldn't, like,
stressed
handle
out from
anything.
what?
Those two.
They
sit there
That's
and
your
bicker.
decision. You were sleeping with both of them.
Yeah, I was.
If you're that weak mentally, if you're gonna fall to pieces over two guys, why wouldn't you say, I'll keep the baby, I'll get rid of you two guys?
I tried that.
You're making bad choices, and you know who pays for the bad choices?
Me.
No, your baby.
And my baby, yeah. I know that.
You, how are you?
Because my son has to pay for it. I pay for it because my son has to pay for it. I felt like I was hurting my son and punishing my son for what they were doing in between the two of them. And what Jeff had done to me.
What did Jeff do to you?
I have PTSD because Jeff abused me in our apartment.
But this is a man that you were sleeping with.
He abused me and I left him. As soon as it happened, I left him.
He says that you slept in his lap on the plane right here, all the way
I
here.
fell asleep on his arm and apparently fell into his lap because I don't remember laying in his lap and falling asleep there.
So you didn't feel too threatened that he was stalking you on the plane, sitting right next to him?
They put us on the same plane.
You couldn't say, hey, I'm scared of this guy,
well,
I want to move away?
I didn't know they were putting us on the same plane. As far as I knew, we were all going to be on separate planes.
Is there any decision that you can make and say, you know what, I'm going to do what's best for me or do what's best for my child? Let's bring the two possible fathers back out.
Okay, now, first of all, where's the police report from that? Because I seem to remember everything going a little bit differently. You attacked me, and
because I told you I was leaving?
You were beating the hell out of me with your engagement ring.
I told you I was leaving, and I went to walk out the door, and you grabbed a hold of me and tossed me across the living room.
I have the scars on my face and my arms to prove it.
Yeah, because I'm all big, bad, and tough.
Actually,
then you must be a pretty quick.
But anyways, after she was beating the hell out of me for about 5 minutes, I grabbed her by the wrist and held him up against the wall.
You know what? This is about a woman that is sleeping with two guys. We don't know who the father is. And this is about you having your son in your life. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't. We have a mother up here who, you know, she needs a break from her child, so she gives him to you. And then she's with this guy. Then you needed a break, and then you needed time out. I just love the fact that all these young people can have kids and, well, I need a break. I need a time out. You know, you're acting like children. All of you.
He does too.
I don't think you're a bad guy, but I think you're really emotional. And I don't know if you're in the right frame of mind to take care of a child. But I don't know right now if you're really capable of raising a child. Maybe you are. I could be wrong, but you just seem all over the place.
You seem hurt. I am an excellent father.
And I don't doubt one bit the love for your son from the way you talk about him. I'm terrified that you're the mother to anybody. I really am.
You sit out here and just bold-faced lie.
How did I lie? What did I lie about, Jeff?
You know what?
Not one word.
And the way you treat each other, he could possibly be the father of your child. And this is how you talk to each other.
How about the fact that he's been lying about me this whole freaking time he's been out here?
You know what? That's why it's time to grow up. Yeah. It's time to grow up.
Time to grow up and stop being
Hold on. Be quiet. Be quiet. Serena, who did you want the father to be?
Brian.
Well, Jeff is the father.
I told you. I told you. That's my boy. Where's my boy? Where's my boy?
I want my kid!
Calm down,
It's my son!
Acting this way right now in front of that little boy is not good for your little boy.
When I met him, he lied about his age to my daughter and to me.
How old did he tell you he was?
He told me he was 25. You were buying my 17-year-old daughter beer so you could molest her!
Marty, you were asked, did you lie to Hannah about your age when you first met her? And the results of his lie detector test is that...
Oh my God!
Calm down,
It's my son!
I'm sorry, Steve. This has just been
I know
so
it's
long
you
coming.
gotta be calm
And I've
down.
been fighting for so long for this.
Let's go in the green room. Let's go in the green room.
Where's my son?
Hey,
I want my son.
understand. Listen to
Serena.
me. Listen to me.
What?
Acting this way right now in front of that little boy is not good for your little boy. Think about
And
that.
you think he's swollen is good for him?
He's calmed down right now, and he's holding his son.
That's why I want my kid!
He's the father of that child. That's his son,
for a man
too.
who beat me!
You say you beat him. You stay with him. You
I don't
continue
stay
to be with him. You take his
No,
money.
I wasn't with him.
Yes.
I have never been. Yeah. You know what? I let him see Jaron, and
Did you ever have him
we've
locked
been
up,
giving-
all these beatings? You ever have him arrested and put in jail?
You know what? The cops didn't take him to jail. Not my fault.
Oh, so they didn't want to, right? They
I
said,
don't
oh,
know
no.
why they didn't.
I want to know what you're going to do now. Are you going to start
The
acting
same
like
thing
a
I've
mother?
been doing and taking care of my son since I've been back.
Since
Yeah,
you've been
I made
back.
mistakes, okay? I know I made mistakes. At least I can admit it. I'm not the alcoholic out there.
You're really something.
Why?
You're blaming everybody for everything except yourself.
Yeah, but
you
I
put
know
yourself
what
in
I
a
did.
position you
I
were
know
sleeping
what
with
I
men.
did. Yeah,
you don't
I know
who
I
the
slept with
father
them.
is. Right.
I know what I did.
You know what I'd like to
And
hear?
I know what I did
I'd
was
like
wrong.
to say, you know what? I'm immature. I've made a lot of bad decisions.
I am,
maybe
and I did,
need,
yeah.
Maybe I need
But I
help to
grew
learn
up.
how to be. You didn't grow up in the last few
okay.
months. I could tell, but just your behavior on stage.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a mature woman.
Because he's out there lying about me?
The point is, how about grow up right now and say, he's the father. I'm going to do everything I can to make a nice, happy, and healthy environment for my son.
I'm trying to. Jeff and I were getting along until he started lying about me on stage.
Well,
We didn't have any problems and we were getting along. And I was letting him see Jaron.
What would his point of being lying?
I don't know, but he
says,
did.
He says he still loves you.
That's
He's-
nice. If he loved me, he wouldn't have beat me.
If you were so scared and he beat you, you would never have sat next to him on an airplane. That's the truth of it.
Well, I'm not scared of him because he is a but
So Jeff got to be with his son. He finds out, he got to be with him. I'm not going to keep you from your son, but you've got to be calmed down. You can't act crazy when you go in there. This is your little boy we're talking about. And what I'd like to do, honestly, I would like to offer you counseling, parenting classes, and do that for your little boy. You probably really need that. And I want to do that for you. And I hope, for the sake of your son, that whatever help that I offer you, that you'll take it. Okay?
yeah, I'll take it, but I want to see my son.
Let's go. Want to go to mommy? Want to go see your mommy?
Baby.
I'm rooting for you, okay? I want you to be a good mom. And honestly, you need help. You need help. You need somebody to give you advice, maybe with men. You give me a call, and I'll talk to you, and I'll give you some advice, all right?
Right now, I'm not worried about men. My
Good.
son's the
See,
most
you know
important
what?
thing in my life.
That's the
now.
best thing you said since you've been here. This is the only man that you should be concerned about right now.
He is the only man I'm concerned about right now.
All right. Take the help that I'm going to offer you, okay? Hey, buddy. All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
When I met him, he lied about his age to my daughter and to me.
How old did he tell you he was?
He told me he was 25. You were buying my 17-year-old daughter beer so you could molest her!
Marty, you were asked, did you lie to Hannah about your age when you first met her? And the results of his lie detector test is that...
Oh my God!
You are the five.
Get off my stage! My guess is Debbie. Debbie, you hate your daughter's boyfriend.
Yes.
And why is that?
When I met him, he lied about his age to my daughter and to me. I found out he was 27 and she was only 17. It was statutory rape. It's every definition of it that you can think of. He took advantage of her. He was the guy in the neighborhood buying kids beer. You know, the parents hear this, but we don't know who the actual person is. We only hear about the guy that she's, you know, is her friend. Suddenly this friend became her boyfriend, and I find out when I met him, I said, I'm gonna need to see some ID because I know you're not 21. And he said, oh, I left it in the truck, you know. And then Hannah, and then he left, he didn't come back, and Hannah told me that he was, you know, 25. And I said, I think he's older than that. Come to find out, he was 27 years old. And I was
And your daughter was 17 at the time?
Yes, yeah, just turned. So I was going to have him arrested for statutory rape. And I was literally on my way out the door when she stopped me and said, well, Mom, I'm pregnant. And I said, what? And she said, we planned it. I said, how do you plan a pregnancy? Why wasn't I involved in this plan? I'm raising you. And
I take it she's still in school at the time?
She was still in high school, straight A student, basketball team, I mean.
So then what happens?
Well, we moved from where we were, and I thought, hopefully this will get him out of her system a little bit, because he cheated on her. She was home every night. She would be crying like tears of torture, if you ask me. It sounded like somebody was torturing her, and it was ripping my heart out. I'd go to his house and knock on his door and say, my daughter is over there crying her heart out because you were supposed to be there at like 10 o'clock and you never showed up. You know, what are you doing? And he's like, well, she's acting like a child. And I'm like, well, Marty, you did go to bed with a child. You know, she's not a woman just because you slept with her and got her pregnant. He didn't want to have anything to do with the pregnancy. He was never there.
And how old is the baby now?
3 months old.
And he's obviously in her life now, right?
He's the do-drop-in daddy, I call him. Whenever he wants to just do-drop in. But when she had the baby, the day she was leaving the hospital, the day before she was leaving the hospital, Marty went home to get his paycheck. He said he was there for 2 days. He watched the baby be born. The next day he left to go get his paycheck. He never came back.
So you're saying he's not a good father?
No. She ran out of formula, and she told me we had just lost our store, and we didn't have any money, and she was supposed to get something from her grandmother, and it didn't come. And she just looked at me and said, I can't buy formula. And it was like the last resort to say that to me. And I was like, I was so mad. I picked up the phone and I called Marty and I said, Marty, my daughter doesn't have any formula for the baby. Can you send her like 10 bucks? I have 5, you know, that'll be enough. And he said, my check was short. I said, Marty, you went home to get your paycheck. You never came back. That was 2 weeks ago. You've been paid again since then. You have 2 short checks. You can't afford $10 for your child? Well, that's all I can say is my check was short. I said, well, all right, and that was...
So he doesn't even provide formula for the baby?
He doesn't provide anything for the baby. He might buy a diaper every now and again if he comes in to see her, you know, and he might hold the baby once, and, I mean, it's like nothing to him.
So what do you want to happen today?
I want her to see what he is. I want to be able to... Every time I try to confront him, I got her on my back,
and
yelling
you'd like
at me.
your daughter to break up with him?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, definitely. He wouldn't let her take... Sorry.
Well, and his name is Marty?
Yes.
I'm gonna let you confront him. Let's bring Marty out.
Marty.
Well, first of all, for the record, in regards to my check, and I already explained to you that.
You didn't explain anything
I'm
to
talking.
me. Okay,
no, I'm
excuse me,
talking.
but this is my day,
First
not
of all,
yours.
for the record.
What is the record? What's your excuse for not feeding your child?
First of
You
all,
have
for
an
the record.
excuse for that? Your check was that
Well, go ahead and
short.
speak
2
then.
checks in a row.
Okay. First of all, for the record, okay, I take care of my obligations. I take care of my responsibility.
Your baby's not your responsibility? Were you there when the baby was crying in the background and I was on the phone saying...
I have another daughter who I also take care of.
Your other
I pay
daughter...
child support on my other daughter. That's my responsibility and my obligation.
So your new baby isn't your responsibility?
I was sick and I was out for a week.
You were
my
not
check
sick.
My check was only, at the time, $200. I informed her as her daughter, who I was seeing, my situation.
Marty, how old are you?
38.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me? You are what? You are a child molester. That's what you are, you piece of crap. I thought you were 27 years old. Are you freaking all right? How do you live with yourself? You were buying my 17-year-old daughter beer so you could molest her? You take care of your responsibilities. You live at home. You don't pay any bills. You're a... 38? Are you kidding me? This man should be in jail.
First of all, your daughter...
Are you kidding me? My daughter is 17 years old. She doesn't have a right to make that decision. I'm her mother. That's why they call it statutory rape.
Your daughter was already on the streets buying beer, and you the one that bought her some weed. Now what?
Are you kidding me?
You bought her some weed so that she could calm down.
Dreaming.
So don't act like you're a good mother, right? Because you're not a good mother.
I don't buy my daughter weed.
You bought your daughter weed.
And then my daughter was out on the street buying beer.
She had me take her to her daughter's friend's house so that she could buy weed. She also asked me if I could drive her with her. Be real about it. Be real. Be real.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Hold on 1 second.
Don't act like
Dude, you better get over yourself.
You playing 2 sides. You playing stage side.
Listen. Regardless if she's a bad mother or not, right? Let's say you're right. She's a bad mother. You're a 38-year-old man. Why are you buying beer for a 17-year-old?
I wasn't buying beer for a 17-year-old. I wasn't. And I did one time. Okay?
One time?
I did one time.
How come the whole neighborhood didn't know she was the pervert that buys the kids beer? I didn't know who the pervert was.
Well, listen.
Okay?
Oh, yeah, they do.
Why is a 38-year-old man going buying any teenager alcohol?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I didn't. I'm not saying that I'm not responsible for my actions, because I just said I take full responsibility for my actions.
When is that?
What's the point,
When
though?
is that you take those responsibilities?
People make mistakes in life, okay? People make wrong choices.
Mistakes!
People make, and you know that.
Mistakes!
But I'm not gonna uncover that.
Okay.
Marty, you cover
People
anything
do
you
make
want.
mistakes, but I think most 38-year-old men don't sleep with 17-year-old girls and get them pregnant. Why are you doing that? How old did he tell you he was?
He told me he was 25.
Marty, you were asked, did you lie to Hannah about your age when you first met her? And the results of his lie detector test is that Did you lie about your age to her daughter?
No.
You always told her I'm 38 years old?
When we met, there was nothing said like that. We just happened to meet at the time.
Yeah, but at some point people say, how old are you? Oh, I'm 45. How old are you?
But that wasn't said. So, that was said later on.
Was it after you were sleeping with her or before you were sleeping with her?
Before.
What are you having a relationship with a 17-year-old for?
We were just friends at the time.
But I'm not friends with 17-year-olds.
What does a 38-year-old have a friend? It can come with a 17-year-old.
I made a wrong choice in life. I'm not perfect.
A wrong choice?
I made a wrong decision.
No, a wrong choice is...
I made a wrong decision.
No,
I just
that's a child. That's not... That's despicable, what you're doing there.
That's what I'm saying. I made a wrong
You're destroying a young girl's life. Now, not only did you screw her up, now she has a child with you. She's always going to have to be some involvement with you. You never let a child grow up. You never let her grow up and make her own decisions. You robbed her of that.
And you know what you did too? Your daughter is going to see, for the rest of her life, your daughter is going to see the age difference between her mommy and daddy. Your daughter is going to think it's okay to date a 38-year-old when she's 17. Do you want that for your daughter, Marty, or do you even give a
would be well taken care of.
Your daughter isn't well taken care of. When would that happen, Marty? You can't even buy her food.
I want both of you to leave the stage. I want to talk to your daughter.
Sir, go up those stairs, please.
Oh.
Oh, by the way, Marty, just before you leave, are you have a relationship with this young girl still?
Yeah, we keep a good friendship for the baby.
Do you ever cheat on her?
Wow.
I did in the beginning.
And you haven't been cheating on her?
No.
Does she know that you cheated on her?
Yeah.
You told her?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that. Let's bring Hannah out. How you doing, Hannah? And how old are you?
18.
And you're seeing Marty now?
I'm in the process of leaving him.
In the process. And why are you in the process of leaving him?
He's not good to me. He cheated on me when I was pregnant. I feel like he's still cheating on me now.
When you met him, how old did he tell you he was?
He told me he was 25. Then he slipped and said 26. And then later on, I found through someone else that he's 38.
So he never told you he was
No.
38?
And when I confronted him about it, he denied it.
And when you discovered he was 38, how did that make you feel?
I was shocked. That's disgusting to me. Like, before, I don't know, now it's like, it doesn't seem like he's 38. He's really immature. He looks young, you know.
Did you love him?
Yeah,
Are you still in love with him now?
unfortunately.
You called the show, you're here, he's here. What do you want to happen?
I want to leave him.
You want to leave him? All right, let's bring Marty back.
You think it's a joke or what?
You called the show because you wanted to have Marty take a lie detector test about whether he was cheating on you. And at this point, kind of hearing, does it even really matter if he's cheating on you still or cheating on you?
If I know that he's cheating on me, it will be a lot easier to leave him. I mean, it will hurt more, but I need to know.
What do you want to happen with this young girl? She's 18 years old, you're 38. I mean, now you have a baby with her. What do you want to happen?
I want to be with her, of course. I do care for you. I do love you. I'm not perfect. I was born imperfect. I was born in a sinful world. Everybody was, no matter what. But I made a mistake. But if my apology is not good enough for you, then I don't know what to tell you.
You know what, though? An apology doesn't erase away everything that you've done, though. It doesn't.
Right. It doesn't. But it takes.
You know what? An apology doesn't erase the fact that you lied to her about your age. You didn't give her a fair chance to decide whether she wanted to be you based on who you truly are. Yeah, we all make mistakes, but we don't start sleeping with children.
Before you got me pregnant, you told me you're gonna take care of me. I have nothing to worry about. I don't have to do nothing. You just wanted me to stay at home and take care of the baby. Did you not say that?
Right, I did say
Okay,
that.
so how come now I'm stressing over every bill by myself? Anytime I ask you about it, oh, don't put all the pressure on me, but what about me? Can we share some of it? Can we share the pressure?
We have to also communicate, and when you're not trying to communicate
Marty, I tell you
with
all the
me,
time, and then anytime I say something, you say, don't worry about it.
This is what I'm talking about. You got to let me talk. We got to communicate. We got to establish a communication.
Now, he took a lie detector test. Do you want me to read these?
I do.
Marty, you were asked, did you lie to Hannah about your age when you first met her?
No.
Did you have sex with more women than Hannah knows about?
No.
Are you currently having sex with another woman?
No.
And the results of his lie detector test is that Marty, you were asked, did you lie to Hannah about your age when you first met her? Did you?
No.
Did you have sex with more women than Hannah knows about?
No.
Are you currently having sex with another woman?
No.
And the results of his lie detector test is that he's not telling the truth.
I didn't have sex with more women. I'm always at work, and you know it.
So you're still somebody.
I'm not.
How would anybody expect anything to come out of your mouth to be the truth?
I understand.
I'm definitely through with you. Definitely.
Don't listen to him, Hannah. It's okay, baby. You're nothing but a rapist. You're a disgusting, despicable human being. Look at the smirk on your face. You think it's funny? You think it's funny you get over on a child? But I told you from the beginning, you never got over on me.
I'm not even laughing.
You are laughing. You think it's funny. You keep trying. You're still sitting here. Oh, I love you, Hannah. What? You want to keep dating the child? Does that turn you on, Marty?
I do love her. I do.
You don't love her. You don't love anybody.
Anybody else?
How you know? You don't know how I feel.
You know what? I don't know how you feel. I hope I never do.
And I care for her. That's good.
You care for her. You let her. You let your child starve. Get the. You better get away from her, and I mean it. Don't you ever. Don't touch me or what?
Don't touch
or
me.
what? What?
Don't
What's your
touch
big
me.
threat, Marty? What's your big threat?
Don't assault me
What's
like that.
the threat?
That's not a threat.
What's the threat?
You threaten me.
The last thing you really need to do is continue to be in her life and destroy it like you already have. I mean, she's got a chance. Maybe she can rebuild and go on and be a good mother. And I really don't think you should be in her life at all because it was all based on lies to begin with. You need to step up and be financially responsible to that child. But the one good thing about this show is that we could do like a public service announcement.
Yes,
And
that's good.
Everybody that watches the show, take a good look at Marty.
Child molester.
Marty's a 38-year-old man that likes sleeping with young girls. And if you're a young lady, or even a mature lady, do not get involved with this guy right here. Let's go. Get off my stage!